Good morning, everybody. Thank you all very much for being here and sharing this auspicious occasion for the groundbreaking of our next Homes for Families veteran-enriched neighborhood. We're back in the San Fernando Valley where it all began, and we're very excited to be back. We're blessed as an organization to have a wonderful board of directors. They're very engaged, they're very hardworking, and many of them are here today. So I'd like to introduce you to them. We've got our Vice Chairman, Michael Weintraub. Tony Rodriguez, I don't know if Tony is here, but he is our treasurer. So you can give him a big hand anyway. Our Secretary, Richard Doss. Executive Committee member, Eric Steinauer. And our board members, Deanna Austin, Jason Geithner, Roy Jahangard, Linda Katz, Michael Klein, Eddie Lauren. I don't know if Bob has made it, Bob Neisner, and Juan Rose, the Colonel. Thank you guys for being here. It's great to see you all in person. We're still meeting virtually for our board meetings. I'd also like to thank our great staff for being here today and for making this organization work. They are small, but they get an awful lot done. We're also very fortunate today to have a number of dignitaries who are joining us. We have our very own Congress member, Tony Cardenas. You'll hear from him in a few minutes. We have from CalVet, the Deputy Secretary of Communications, Lindsay Sun. Another great supporter of ours on the Los Angeles City Council, and someday we're going to be doing a project in his district, John Lee. From our representative in the California State Senate, we have District Representatives McKenna Gordon and Andres Garcia. From Carolyn Menjivar's office. And we have Adrin Nazarian, who used to be the assembly member for this area, and we'll probably be seeing him very soon again. Adrin, thanks for joining us today. Thank you all for being here. Now it's my pleasure to introduce to you the Los Angeles City Council President Paul Krekorian. Now I could go on and on about his career in the California State Assembly, his role as the City Council's budget chair, where he faced not only a great recession, but also COVID, and was still able to balance the budget for the Los Angeles City for 11 years straight. To his credit, he has been the council member to create interim housing in his district to meet the needs of his district as the first council member to do so in the city of Los Angeles, which is a great accomplishment and not an easy feat. But what I really want to do is stress the councilman's unwavering commitment to make this 12-home North Hollywood veteran-enriched neighborhood a reality. The council president, with his chief of staff, Carl Terrassian. Carl, glad you could be here. And his Director of Community Improvements, Jackie Keene. I know Jack, there you are. They have really been remarkable partners in coordinating with the city agencies and breaking through the log jams, which I know it's hard to believe, but sometimes there are log jams in the bureaucracy, when it was necessary to make this important project a reality. I cannot stress enough how grateful Homes for Families is to Council President Paul Krekorian, because without his steadfast support, we wouldn't be here today. With that, please welcome Council President Paul Krekorian.
Thank you very much, Brad. And Congressman Cardenas just reminded me, and I need to say at the outset, this city would not have survived that second Great Recession if it hadn't been for the support of our federal government in helping us get through that. So I want to give thanks to Congressman Cardenas and the rest of our representatives in Washington on that. Before we do anything else, I'd like to take a moment and just ask if you are able And if you are a member of, if you are a veteran of the United States Armed Forces, if you could please just stand or raise your hand so we can acknowledge your service to our country. Thank you very much, veterans. I am not a veteran. But I am the son of United States Marine Corps World War II veteran Rick Krekorian. I am the brother of Vietnam-era Navy veteran Craig Krekorian. I'm the uncle of Annapolis graduate Aaron Krekorian. And so your service means so much to me personally, and we can never express our gratitude enough for all that you've given to our country. And so when this project was first proposed to us, it was a very easy answer for us to try to get to yes, and for many reasons. Not just because of our gratitude to veterans, but also because of the challenges that our veterans continue to face in this country. Right now, as you all know, Los Angeles has one of the most unaffordable housing markets in the country, if not the most unaffordable housing markets in the country. And we have the highest number of veterans in Los Angeles in the entire country. And we have the highest number of veterans who are either experiencing homelessness or are on the precipice of homelessness in the country. And so it just sort of goes without saying that in expressing our gratitude, it's not enough just to say thank you. We also have to do more. We have to ensure that our veterans can continue to thrive as members of this community and can succeed, and their children will also succeed because they'll be able to accumulate equity in a project like this and plant their flags in this community, stake a claim to this community, and build the kind of generational wealth that's been deprived of too many. And on that score, too, in the era of the all-volunteer military in particular, a disproportionate number of those who serve our country and of our veterans are people of color who often face additional challenges because of the inequities in our housing market. And so this kind of project really accomplishes so much. It's more than just saying thank you. It's really building a veteran community in our district and helping our veterans to become a part of this community, get the services that they need in this community, but also building wealth and passing it on to their children in this community, all of which are absolutely imperative goals. So we're standing right now on the site of what will be a 12-home community for veterans. This lot will be transformed into 3-story, 3-bedroom homes, 2 of which will be fully ADA compliant units with elevators. It'll include outdoor community outdoor space and an urban garden. It will be one of the most environmentally sustainable projects in the area, and I'm sure others will speak to that. So it was easy for me to say, we have to make this happen. And as Brad said, yeah, sometimes in the city of Los Angeles, it may not be as easy to build things as it should be. Sometimes, shocking as it may seem, bureaucrats find ways to say no to things instead of finding ways to say yes. But thanks to the hard work of Carl Trosian, who was already mentioned, and Jackie, and the rest of our office, we were able to push through those barriers. We were able to allocate $480,000 of CRA excess housing bond proceeds for this project on this city-owned parcel, and an additional $120,000 in support to help offset some of the street improvements and sidewalk improvements here on Elmer. I mentioned the environmental sustainability. That's also important, not just for the environment as a whole, but also because that kind of holistic sustainability approach is especially important for some of the residents of this facility, which may have chemical sensitivities and otherwise have concerns, PTSD triggers and other things that come from a lot of the things that we are able to avoid with environmental sustainability measures. So for all those reasons, this will be a model project. This will be the kind of project that my friend Councilmember Lee is eager to have in his district, and all of our other colleagues should be eager to have in their district as well, because we owe it to our veterans, we owe it to our communities and our neighborhoods to build this kind of project and increase our housing stock in a way that's equitable, sustainable, and provides a small measure of appreciation for those who've served our country so willingly and so capably. And so with that, I am very, very grateful to Homes4Families for giving me the opportunity to say yes to their tremendous project. And so I want first to present this certificate, if I can, to Donna and to Brad on behalf of Homes4Families. This certificate, which reads, "On behalf of the City of Los Angeles, I congratulate you on breaking ground for the North Hollywood Veteran Enriched Neighborhood Community Project. This collaboration with the City of Los Angeles and veteran families to build a 12-home community project will provide previously homeless and low-income military families with the opportunity to become homeowners, not just housed, but to become homeowners. Your efforts will foster economic growth, revitalize neighborhoods, and provide homes for veterans and their families through programs that teach self-sufficiency and maximize opportunity. I welcome this project to the 2nd Council District and wish you success in all of your future endeavors and projects." Brad, Donna, thank you. Congratulations. And I have to make some search for the partners. You want to do that now?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. So obviously we can never, and I'm sure that others will speak to this at length, but no project like this ever happens without assembling an array of partners to help with the financing, with the construction, with support in a variety of different ways. And so I want to thank a few of those partners here right now. First, Wells Fargo. I want to ask Jack Ulrey to come on up on behalf of Wells Fargo.
Right behind you.
Oh, there you are.
How are you?
And thank you very much,
so much.
for
I
all of
appreciate
your
that.
support of this important project, Jack.
Thank you so much.
And Brad, why don't you join us too? Donna, can you?
I'll come in the middle.
Oh,
You're good. No, you're good where you are. You're good where you are. All right. Thank you,
Thank you so
Jack.
much, sir.
Thank you to Wells Fargo. Oh, one more. Oh, sorry.
Yep. 1, 2, and 3. One more. 1, 2, and 3.
Okay, last one. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Great. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. And Anheuser-Busch. I'd like to ask Eric Gutierrez to come up representing Anheuser-Busch, and thank you for your partnership. And it's not just providing refreshments, if that's what you're thinking.
Okay, hold on.
Okay, right over here. Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Oh, okay. Okay, so I was just told that Home Depot is not here today, but these projects also, are so supported by Home Depot, which always supports our veterans as well. So we will make sure that they get this. Again, thank you all very much.
Hi again. So it's my pleasure to introduce our CEO and president, all these projects would not be possible without. She is our inspiration. She has all the passion behind this and is our fearless leader, Donna Deutschman.
I think you can hear me without the mic, yes? Okay. Thank you so much for all being here today to support our veterans. That's what this is all about. And as Paul said, we couldn't have done it without the council member and his staff, Caro and Jackie and all the other people that I'm sure worked for this. I want to say a little bit more about the housing. It is so important, not only that it be environmentally safe, but that we build housing that is affordable for our low-income families to maintain. And what does that mean? That means that affordable housing has to be built well. It cannot be built with inexpensive materials that degrade over the first 5 years. It has to be built with good, strong materials so that the veterans are not replacing their countertops and their sinks within the first 5 years. It also has to be built responsibly and responsively to veterans' needs. Almost every veteran comes home with leg and back pain because of the packs that they carry, because of the parachutes that they land with. So the plugs and the different things that we put in the houses must be at heights that are accommodative to their needs. We have to make sure the lights are appropriate for PTSD. We have to make sure that even though we're building production housing, which means every house has to look the same, that we have bathrooms that are not production built, but rather accommodate to each individual's needs, depending on whether they need to sit down, whether they need bars, whether they need only a shower in the master bathroom. So our houses are appropriate for PTSD needs, even the non-ADA ones. Special lighting, special door handles for every veteran. So we have to do these things, which costs a little bit more. We have to make sure that the floor plans are appropriate to veterans' needs. And we do all this. The other thing that's important is the sweat equity our veterans put in. Yes, they do help build the house, but they also need services that are appropriate so that they learn financial literacy, so that they learn about insurance and other things that are specific to what helps people move up the economic ladder. We all know the saying about teaching a man to fish rather than giving him a fish. But the truth is, the difference between being in the middle class and the lower class is that somebody in the middle class learns where the best fishing holes are. They learn where to go to find out information and to get help. We need to teach our veterans where the best fishing holes are. And that's what Homes for Families spends its time doing, teaching them who to ask and where to go for help, how to self-advocate. And then there's our art programs, which we have some examples of there, and drumming, our trauma-informed care, to help them heal together with each other and become a true neighborhood before they move into the house. All these things are needed, and all these things matter. We can't just put people in homes without caring for them and providing the wraparound services that help them be successful. That's my thing. And people like Paul Krekorian and the gentleman I'm going to introduce next in government who care, and John Lee and their staff, make it possible. And our board, thank you, and our staff. Tony Cardenas has served in public office for more than 20 years. He was first elected to the United States House of Representatives in 2013 and has represented California's 29th district since then. Representative Cardenas sits on the prestigious Housing Committee on Energy and Commerce, where he's fighting for hardworking American families. He has worked and authored legislation to lower prescription drug prices, combat climate change, and ensure that everyone has access to affordable, quality health care, mental health care, and jobs. He's committed to bringing awareness and change to the issues most important to the San Fernando Valley and its families. He's passionate advocate for our veterans, particularly through his work on the Congressional Veterans Job Caucus. Congressman Tony Cardenas.
Appreciate this opportunity in today's celebration of the beginning of Shovels in the Ground for 12 families, 12 veterans families, and everybody who's been through any kind of commitment in life knows that when you give 110% of yourself, it's not just you that endures that, your family endures it as well. So thank you to our veterans and thank you to their families who prayed for them to come home and prayed that they be healthy and happy when they get here. And yet PTSD is the constant reminder that when we ask people to give 110% of themselves, that sometimes they don't come back the same way that they left us. And that's why, Donna, it's really important that you outline the services that are going to be accessible to every family who is going to be here living on these grounds in a short time. I'm very honored to be an elected official in the San Fernando Valley, a place where I was born and raised in Pacoima. And yet at the same time, it's been my honor to be a United States Congressman for the last 10 years of my going on 27 years of public service as an elected official here in the Valley. And I just wanted to say thank you for Homes for Families for providing 12 homes to 12 veterans families. In addition to that, every time we have a day like this, it starts with a Brad and a Paul and a Donna and a Russell and many, many more individuals who are committed to making sure that we don't just talk about how to be there for our veterans, but we actually put our words into actions like today. And those actions are small and large along the way. In some cases, it's a $50,000 commitment. In another case, it's saying, we have the dirt, let's give it to them so they can build their project. In other days, it's a bank saying, I'll step up and I'll lend the millions of dollars that it's going to take to build those units. And the list goes on and on and on. But behind every single one of those positive actions is heart. The heart to say, we're going to get to yes instead of no. To me, that is a human trait of people who are determined to make sure that they're part of a bigger picture. It's not about me, it's about we when those decisions are made. When somebody signs on the dotted line and says, yes, if anybody complains, my signature, my reputation is right there. And I will defend that decision to make sure that a day like this comes to fruition. I say all very often that I am so blessed to be lucky enough to be born in the United States of America, just down the road from where we're standing today. Yet at the same time, I'm very blessed to be raised by immigrants who, unlike me, every moment of my life, I could take for granted that if I wanted light, I flick a switch. They had to light a candle. There was no electricity for them. When I want water, just a cup of water. I turn on a faucet and I drink it. Not for my mother and father. They had to go all the way down to the river to go get a bucket of water that they had to make last all day long. If I want to go to the bathroom, I just go down the hall. I don't have to go down the road. I say these things because far too often, as American citizens, we are so blessed that we forget how blessed we really are. And today we celebrate the groundbreaking of the blessings for 12 families that won't be living on the streets of America, but will be living in a home that they helped build with their own hands, a home that they will have all the modern conveniences for their little children and their families so that they can be everything that they dream of being. That's what today's groundbreaking is about. The culmination of much sacrifice and decisions that were made by our veterans and their families, and those good people who made many decisions and signed on the dotted line to make sure that all of those wonderful things happen so that we can see these 12 homes built for our veterans. Not those veterans, our veterans. There's tens of billions of dollars from the federal government. There's hundreds of millions of dollars from the state government. And there's hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars from our city government and our county governments that help days like this come to fruition. It's a community of effort, not just one person. So today is our opportunity not to just say thank you to our veterans, but to put actions behind our words and say, you've earned it. This is for you. Thank you. Thank you. We have a few certificates to hand out from my office, but I will give out one and then we'll get back to the rest of this, the agenda. The representatives for Homes4Families, can you please come forward? Oh. Right. Okay, just put it back here. Take a picture. Thank you. Good to see you again, Brad. Good to see you. One more.
Last one. Thank you. We have one over here too.
Okay. Step a little bit this way.
Perfect, thanks.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. I would be remiss if I didn't mention our friends at the Los Angeles Housing Department. Eric Claros was going to be here to speak today, but he is working on another piece of land to give to another nonprofit. So his work superseded his ability to be here today. CalVet has been our partner. This will be our 4th neighborhood with them. 12 homes in Sylmar, where veterans have been living for 10 years, probably. 78 homes in Santa Clarita, where veterans have been living for over 8 years, and 59 homes, in Palmdale. 16 veterans have been living there for over 2 years, and 6 more are about to close their homes this summer. CalVet Undersecretary Russell Attenberry also got called away because of how much he's working today. But I'm delighted to say that Lindsay Sin is here with us today, who I met over 12 years ago. And she's been a steadfast part of our program. Lindsay Sin served in the U.S. Navy from 1997 until 2005 as a cryptologic technician interpretive. I'll let her explain that. She completed 2 flight tours in Spain in support of Operations Northern Watch, Southern Watch, Enduring Freedom, and achieved the rank of Petty Officer First Class. After this incredible history of service, she served as Deputy Secretary for Women's Veterans, then was appointed by Governor Newsom as Deputy Secretary of Communications, where she is today. Lindsay?
Good morning, everyone. It's an absolute pleasure to be here today. As Donna mentioned, I work for the California Department of Veterans Affairs. Our mission is to serve the 1.6 million veterans across our state, to connect them with all number of benefits, whether that's state benefits that we administer directly or to connect them directly with their community-based systems of care. And we also house veterans, and we also provide veterans home loans, and that's part of why we're here today. So as Donna mentioned, I had the opportunity to serve in the Navy for 8 years, active duty. So for any of my veterans here today, thank you for your service. I'm glad you're here. And as you know, when you serve in the military, every day you go to work mission focused. You go to work with accomplishing a specific goal in mind, and that never detracts, that never deters. Well, what I love about CalVet and the number of people from our department who are here today, that they are able to deliver those same services and be that mission focused every single day to all of the veterans we serve. And that's another reason why this program has been so successful for the last 4 years. Because all of you that are here today, the elected officials here today with us, those of you in the community who are so willing to support this program, you are mission focused. You're doing exactly what we did in the military. You're doing exactly what we do at CalVet every day. So I thank you so much for that. This is an exciting time. Donna and I were together probably over a decade ago, before shovels had even turned at the first build in Santa Clarita. So it's extremely exciting. It's just impassioning to see us here today for our 4th build finally. So again, I want to thank you for the support that we could provide, that we get to be a part of this wonderful program and helping to fund the loans that veterans will receive for this program. It's an absolute honor that CalVet gets to work with this community in Los Angeles and North Hollywood, as well as be part of the Homes for Families partnership. So thank you.
As you all know, all of our houses are built at a loss. That's what we do. We're a nonprofit. 96% of all of our funds go to construction and services. 4% goes to administration and fundraising. Sometimes only 2%, depending on the year. And we build and we lose money on every house, thanks to our donors. Those donors make the houses possible through their grants and through their donations. And we're very, very grateful, and our veterans are very, very grateful. And many of them are here today. So I want to thank Eric Gutierrez, Flory Geisman, and Margaret Drust of Anheuser-Busch. And I'm going to say, all of these donors, by the way, not only come to us with funds, they come to us with sweat equity, and they build on our site. Or they come to our My Time Center, and they see what we do. We're really, really blessed. Rashi Kalura of Citibank, Jessica Caswick of the Gluck Foundation, Alyssa Plord of the Los Angeles Dodgers Foundation, a group too big to mention from Kaiser Permanente, Bank of America, John Semkin of the Land of the Free Foundation, Terry Hausman of the Hausman Family Foundation, and the Suffolk Foundation. And now I'm going to introduce Jack Olry of Wells Fargo and the Wells Fargo Housing Foundation. Wells Fargo has been a supporter of Homes for Families since 2015, contributing nearly $1 million and hundreds of hours of volunteerism to 3 of our communities, 3 of them. That's over 10 homes, by the way. Even when they couldn't volunteer during the pandemic, they sponsored our Youth Build program, which leveraged 2,000 hours of volunteerism from high school and college students. Wells Fargo also believes in building connections, which led to our partnership with Grid Alternatives, which provides solar, I'm pointing to the pictures, on our houses, and they're installing free solar for our Palmdale community. The relationship would not be possible without the support and loyalty of Jack Ulrey. Jack truly cares about affordable housing, financial literacy, and military families. In 2020, he accepted the Hammer of Hope Award at our Builders Ball. This project, being in his own backyard, has been in his heart since planning began, and he will continue to be an advocate for Homes for Families and the veterans we serve. Jack, please come up.
Thank you so much. Good morning. By the way, I've heard there's a red ant infestation, so watch your ankles out here. My name is Jack Ulrey. I'm a senior community relations vice president, part of the corporate philanthropy team for Wells Fargo here in Los Angeles. It has truly been a pleasure and a privilege to work with such an amazing organization like Homes for Families, their leadership team, supporting veterans and home ownership. And it's not just with philanthropic dollars, like Donna said, it's also several hundred hours of human capital in the form of volunteerism from our team members, helping them build these homes, provide financial literacy, and more. Affordable housing is extremely important for Wells Fargo, obviously. And what's just as equally as important as the supportive services, the wraparound services that adds that extra cushion of sustainability for the new homeowner veterans. And I love this blurb about Homes for Families. Please allow me to read it to you. Results show that their enriched veteran neighborhood program has positive effects on families' income, graduation rates, credit scores, post-secondary education attainment, and reintegration. Their model reduces veteran homelessness, has a 0% recidivism rate, promotes economic growth and asset building, and has a long-term effect on generations of family members. I mean, that gets me every time. Obviously, this is an organization that's making an impact. You've all heard of a no-win situation. This is a no-lose situation for our veterans. Huge thank you to Donna, the executive director, Stacy, who I work with all the time. She's amazing. Danielle, the rest of the staff, what they do for veterans every day, allowing Wells Fargo to be a small part of their impactful mission. It's an easy decision to support a veteran-focused organization like Homes for Families. And at this point, I'd love to present them with a check to further support their mission in 2023 for $100,000. Yeah.